Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today we got a proper look at the brand new Blood Knights models coming out for the Soul Black Gravelords in just a week's time. And so we're going to have a little bit of a chat about all these cool rules we've seen for the Blood Knights because they look pretty awesome, I think. This has probably been one of the most highly anticipated kits of the entire Soul Black Gravelords release. We can take away the weird centaur dragon and new zombies and new skeletons and all of that. I don't think there's been any kit that's been as much wanted for the Death Grand Alliance than Blood Knights. Plastic Blood Knights are just going to be amazing. I know I'm planning on picking up a ton of these models. I really look forward to getting an army of Soul Black Gravelords mostly focused around the Blood Knights on the table, and this article really gives you a good idea of how you can do so. So, without further ado, let's get checking out this article. You can go read it properly on Warhammer Community if that's what you wish, but like always, we like going through these just to sort of give you a bit of our own personal insight, and I guess for those who don't have the time to go read, you can pop this on in your earphones and give it a listen. So it starts off and we get the first look at, I guess, the stat line, the stat block of the model with its weapons and its characteristics. So movement of 10, a 3+ save, which is really nice, and 3 wounds, which is awesome. So that's going to mean, you know, 5 of these have 15 wounds on a 3+ save. That's pretty decent in my books. Bravery 10, as you would expect from any death unit. They've then got Templar Lance or Blade, so the same statistic line, doesn't matter which one they've got. 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, rend 1, damage 1. Nothing to write home about. And their mounts, you know, 3 attacks, which is 1 more than normal for most mounts, so they've got an extra attack there. 4s and 4s, no rend, damage 1. So I would say very basic sort of damage stat line. But that's not really where they come into it. We'll get looking now at a ton of special rules that are coming out, along with some sub-faction rules for a different one of the households that's not the household that we've sort of seen a lot of the lupine stuff for. So they talk about like a perfect balance of speed and hitting power. I mean, they're not really a great balance. They're probably more survivable, I think, at the moment off their base stat line than anything, in all honesty. You know, 15 wounds, 3+ save, that's fairly decent. So we get a look at this. The unit of Blood Knights has any number of models, each armed with Templar Lance or Blade. They then talk about mounts, so the unit's Nightmares attack with their Hooves and Thieves. This is cool. So this is something new to maybe units, is that mounts have, like, normally mounts are a thing we see on characters, but mounts being a thing on units is not something we saw, but this is nice clarification, so I hope this continues, and probably going to see a lot of War Scroll rewrites on the new edition change, I would say, as this sort of points towards that. Champion gets an extra attack, and 1 in every 5 models can be a standard bearer, so you can reroll rolls of 1 for your deathless minions. So this is a 6+ after damage save, DPR, ward save, feel no pain, whatever you want to call it. They get to reroll 1s on that, which is nice. This is the first time we've seen rerolls on this particular type of save since, you know, Daughters of Cain could do it, which their one's a little bit more brutal because it's just rerolls. So it is cool that you can fit like lots of banners. That's pretty much the sort of standard thing here. See what I did there? With a lot of these units. So really cool, means you don't have to be quite as careful with your placement of your models. And the banner model looks amazing. I mean, look at that model there. Absolutely standing. We then get looking into Riders of Ruins. This is the first of the special rules we're going to look at. So in your movement phase, if this unit is within 3 inches of an enemy unit, it can make a normal move. If it does so, it can pass across other models with a wound characteristic of 3 or less that do not have a mount in the same manner as a model that can fly. After this unit has made a normal move, roll a dice for each enemy unit that has any models passed across by models in this unit, and on a 2+, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. This is a really cool rule. Like, it makes cavalry feel like cavalry. I really do think that Games Workshop have found a way to make cavalry units interesting in the game in the last couple of iterations of cavalry. I mainly look at the Dawn Riders and now the Blood Knights. Both have really great rules for allowing cavalry just to feel like they should. This is great. Like, they smash down basic infantry, and that's exactly what they should be doing. Really, really cool rule. I really like it, and you know, it's some additional damage they can do. What's cool about this as well is it's allowing them a normal move. So this means it's not a retreat move. So which means you can sort of hit into the chaff. If you don't kill them all, run over them and then go get the tasty characters or shooting units in behind. Really, really cool, and can be a really useful rule. Martial Fury as well, so you add one to the damage characteristic of their lances in a turn they made a charge. This is really cool. Once again, this just combines really nicely with Riders of Ruin, because this is going to allow you not only to pass over, but effectively your unit can move half an inch forward, touch over the enemy unit's models, and then move backwards with its movement, allowing you to keep doing charges after charges. So this is really, really cool. I think you can make a lot of stuff work with this and really just get a lot out of those mortal wounds. You can be doing D3 every turn. There's no way you shouldn't be able to, unless your opponent boxes you really, really well. We then got the Hunger, so this is pretty standard. And, you know, the Hunger is a lot better, I guess, for these Blood Knights now that they're 3 wounds apiece, because they heal up to D3 wounds. This means you're very likely, on average, to heal a 1 wound Blood Knight back up to full. On average, that's what you're doing. So, you know, nice set of good special rules. They really look nice. But then we start learning about the Blood Knights of the Castelli dynasty. So the Castelli dynasty is the Blood Knights and I guess the Soulblight Gravelords that garrison the Crimson Keep, a mighty fortress that disappears and reforms at the dawn of each new day. So Shifting Keep is the first rule we get from them. And so instead of setting up Blood Knights on the battlefield, you can place it to one side and say it's set up in ambush. You can set up 1 reserve unit in ambush for every other unit set up on the battlefield. Pretty standard rules there. And at the end of your movement phase, you can set up 1 or more of these units on the battlefield wholly within 6 inches of the battlefield edge and 9 inches from enemy units. Cool. You know, this is going to, once again, just give you more movement versatility, which is something Death has primarily lacked for a long period of time. So this could be really, really cool. And then looking at like this cool other Blood Knight in the silver scheme here. I'm assuming this is the Castelli Knight scheme. And then we get Might of the Crimson Keep, where your Blood Knights get a bunch of special rules based on sort of what they kill. So each time a friendly Castelli Dynasty vampire unit destroys an enemy unit, that unit gains the relevant benefit. If the unit was a hero or monster, you add 1 to the damage characteristic of the melee weapons used by the unit, excluding mounts. If it had a wounds characteristic of 3 or more and was not a hero or monster, you add 1 to their wounds. And if the enemy unit has a wounds characteristic of 2 or less, you add 2 to run and charge. Really, really cool. There's a ton of different things that like make it get really good. And I really like that the army gets better if you try to kill things. So you're trying to get these buffs on units by killing things. It's a really cool sort of narrative thing for the units. But like getting an extra wound, like going up to 4 wounds apiece in your Blood Knights because you've killed something with 3 or more wounds, like go try and find that unit you can get an easy kill of, 4 wounds, go kill an ogre, or even just go find a war machine at the back of the field, like one of these Stormcast war machines or something like that. That's easy. You're going to kill it and you're going to get a really good bonus for it. But what do you think of these I guess Blood Knights? What's your thought on all the new War Scroll? I really like them. I think they're going to be great. I like the alternate scheme they've put up here. Is really, really cool, although I do like the blood red armor. I think that is what I would do if I did an army of them. So yeah, what do you think of Soulblight Gravelords and their Blood Knights? Well, thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine community here at Cinderfall Gaming, we've got a Discord server which you can find a link to in the description of the video. Next, why not, if you're here on YouTube already, go check out my featured channel section where there's a bunch of other fantastic Warhammer Age of Sigmar content creators putting out a bunch of fantastic Warhammer Age of Sigmar content, from battle reports, tactical videos, painting videos, and more besides. Lastly as well, thank you to everyone who supports the channel via Patreon and YouTube members. We'd like to give all of them a shout out on the channel for everyone who does so. So thank you to our patrons Christian Weir, James, Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lull, Outer and Shot First, James Crowder, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman, The Rising Ape, and Cure Dynamic. And thank you to our YouTube members Green Roots Gaming, Fire Titan, Steve T, and The Real Zeop. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine people do, you can do so by following the link in the description to either Patreon or YouTube members. Thank you all once again for watching. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.